All right. Party people and the place to be. What's good? It's the number one Chief Rocket Knicks universe. Your main man's Uncle Freezy. What's good? What's good? What's good? Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. In the place to be. Just making sure everything is rocking and rolling okay. Let me go to the homepage to ensure that we are live, and it appears that we are. All right, just checking out a few things here just to ensure that we are live and we don't have any glitchy. There we go. All right. What's good, everybody? Good morning. Now that we have that out of the way, what's good, party people in the place to be? It's the number one Chief Rocket Knicks universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. Welcome to this thing that we call the Knicks Morning Drive. Y'all want this party started right? Y'all want this party started quickly, right? All right. Jamie Peralta's in the building. What's good, JP? What's good? Good morning, man. Good morning. So I got the live stream up, and I want to talk about a few things really quickly. I'm trying to get used to this new software. So I got a few things that I'm working on. I'm not as tech savvy as others. So bear with me if you can while I kind of work my way through this new era of Lawrence tears, so to speak. Right? Real King is in the building. C-Mac, what's good, man? What's good? Shout out to all the members of the channel and everybody that support and help get this thing going the way that we like to have this thing going. So I want to talk about the loss last night to Miami. I want to talk about, man, I spelled Miami wrong. Wow. Okay. I want to talk about the Obi Toppin disappearing act. I want to talk about Tom Thibodeau's inability to adjust. I want to talk about those few things just to get started, and then I want to get a feel for how you guys feel and what it is that you guys want to talk about. And maybe, you know what? Maybe yo, Hard Will is in the building. What's good, man? What's good, Hard Will? I want to see how this looks on YouTube. I try not to look at it on YouTube because there's a slight delay, and it kind of throws me off my game a little bit. But I want to check out a few things and then get into this conversation. Ask you guys how you feel about. Yeah, I kind of like how this looks. I'm gonna clean this up some, but y'all bear with me as I kind of work my way, or I fumble my way through this. Fumble my way through it is probably a better way to put it. Right? JJ is in the building. JJ, when are we gonna start back talking Mets, brother? JJ, when we gonna start back talking Mets, bro? JJ, we legit have to talk about these Mets, man. The season starts in like a week, and so we got to start back talking about these Mets. Got to do it, man. Yeah, me too. Me too. I am as well. Good morning, Miss Geraldine. How you doing? Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really excited where we are as a channel. I think there are some things. There are some things headed our way that I don't want to talk about live here. Just one we should be talking about Knicks topics, but I'm excited about a few things. Yeah, yo. Um, I got the AirPods, man. I'm so grateful and thankful to you guys to even consider me, right? But Miss Mocha took the AirPods. Basically, what I'm getting at. Yo, yo, I ain't even gonna lie. I'm thankful that I was even considered, and the fact that I won something was just like some good news during the stretch that I had a whole bunch of like bad news over and over and over again. Right? Like I get the word about my health and my knee and my ankle, all this stuff. I'm getting like bad news over bad news, losing clients, um, not because of performance, but because of like downturns in markets and things of that sort. So I'm not losing people over that. I'm losing people over stuff that nobody can control. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all this stuff going on, man, and just for the fact that I could just, a small victory kind of get you in that mindset where it's like, okay, okay. Hartwell and Worldwide L, Chef, you know what I'm saying? They put me entered me into something and I won something. And so I'm super excited and thankful for that. You know what I'm saying? But the producer, one of the producers of the show, Miss Mocha, saw him. She was like, "Hey, those for me." And I was like, "Cause you know how you know how you get the tone. Hey, can I have those? Or those for me?" And you're like, "Yes." Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So thank you for the creators of For the Love of the Game podcast on YouTube. Them brothers are doing a lot of good stuff. I appreciate them brothers. They real. Them Jay Boogie, and a few others. I really can't do this YouTube thing without them. So, but anyway, without sounding too mushy, Soul Finger is in the building. What's good, Soul Finger? That's the Barcades, ain't it? Or is that the Barcades or the Delphonics? Soul Finger. Is that the Soul Finger? That's the. Let me see. I'm gonna find it. Is that the Barcades or Soul Finger? Is that the Barcades or the Delphonics? I think that is the Barcades. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the Barcades. That's one of the things every time I see it, it just like put me in that mindset of you know what I'm saying? So that's my West Coast brother. You know what I'm saying? But we really from around the same area. But But let me get to this thing, man. I wanna talk about the Knicks losing to Miami last night, right? So there were a few things that I saw in that game against Miami, and I know it was a big game, right? That game was let me tell y'all something. That game against Miami was a big game in name only. That's it, right? In terms of importance on the season, we just need to win one game in Florida, right? That's it. We just need to win one game in Florida, right? We needed to win one game in Florida. Now, we wanted to win two games in Florida, right? We only need to win one. We want to win two. And the fact that the Miami Heat are our pseudo rival only gave it the weird impression that that game was more important than it was. You feel me? I thought I saw DSJ in here. Is DSJ in here? Shout out to DSJ, whether he here or not. So, you know, in the macro of things, in the macro of things, we only need to win one game in Florida. We can't afford to lose both, right? Because if you lose both, now you're looking at, okay, what's going on here? In terms of the win-loss record, and in terms of the win-loss record, it's one of those things where it's like, um, with like 8 games left, the playoffs are pretty much set but not official. They're set but not official, right? And y'all listen, I know y'all can't see the chat like on the screen with me. I think y'all can see it off the screen. But it's one of those things I'm working on. I'm working on a bunch of stuff, man. I really don't know what I'm doing, so bear with me through the learning curve of things. And also, as a programming note, y'all are gonna get some bang for your buck today, boy. Y'all are gonna get some bang for your buck, right? Jeremy in the building, Dunruss in the building. I see y'all, man. But today y'all gonna get some bang for your buck, right? Right. You are gonna get the number one chief rocker in Knicks universe today at 11:30, along with the Queen Bee. So you're gonna get not only the chief rocker, but the number one chief rocker, and the Queen Bee herself, BK Steph, on a joint together at 11:30. And I ain't even gonna lie, my phone has taken a beating this morning. Not because I'm working it to death, but because of some of the fire topics that the Queen and I have talked about this morning, bruh. So if you can, make sure you hear live. If you can't, make sure you check it out later, right? But here's my Ricardo Torres is in the building. Good mornings. Shout out to my people, man. Shout out to the chat. I just wanna, man. I always shout y'all out, man. I say y'all name out loud, and I say this about once or twice a week, but repeat it because sometimes if you don't catch the show, you don't hear it. But the reason why I say y'all names out loud in the chat, like the reason why I shout out JJ and others and Delano Steele and others and Hard Will and others is because this joint here is seen around the world. Right? And so since we not together most of the time, I want the whole world to know how much I appreciate y'all. So I say y'all name in the chat. Like I'll say Real King, Real King, Real King. And then cats in the Philippines and Canada be hearing the number one chief rocker, Uncle Freezy, shouting out Real King all over the world. And then people in the Philippines is like, yo, who is Real King? Why Uncle Freezy keep shouting out Real King? You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I shout y'all out all the time. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all. It's like back in the day, you remember you used to call a radio station and the DJ used to shout your name out all over. Say you in Harlem. Say you in Harlem and you call up Kiss FM and they shout you out and everybody in the tri-state area hear your name. They like shout out to D Cooler 718 and everybody in the tri-state area is like, yo, who is the Cooler 718? You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody, man. That's why I keep doing it. Right. But back on this Knicks thing, the thing I want to speak to. Last night I was hot, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Last night I was legit hot about a few things that I saw, and then I slept on it, and I woke up, and I'm still hot. But I'm collected though. So I'm hot, but I'm collected, right? Like last night I was hot and a little discombobulated, right? Last night I feel like Tom Thibodeau flat out got out coached. But no big deal. Like when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal. If he had got out coached by Stephen Silas, I'd have been mad. If he'd have got out coached by Bickerstaff, I'd have been mad. Mad. But he had got out coached by Eric Spoelstra. So things happen. Hard Will in the chat trolling. Hard Will in the chat trolling. Talk about. But Tibbs got better though. I see you. Rich boys in the building. Right. I think Tibbs got outcoached last night and it wasn't even close. I think Tibbs legit went to the well and stayed there. Right? So my thing is Josh Hart, for all the stuff, for his reputation, Josh Hart is a great NBA role player. I tried to give Miss Mocha a high five. She ain't even. She looked at my hand like it was, ew, what is that? Yeah, so Josh Hart is a great NBA role player, and I think he's exactly what this team needed. I think he may be being used inappropriately by Tom Thibodeau, and I think that is part and parcel. And y'all know what part and parcel means. It means little bit and whole thing at the same time. So part and parcel, Tibbs is trying to figure out who Josh Hart is, and Josh Hart has to learn how to play with these teammates, right? So I don't want to blame Josh Hart for learning how to play with his new teammates. It's just like Jalen Brunson has not been here long enough to be judged. I know it's been about 58 games, 59 games for Jalen Brunson. So he hadn't been here long enough for us to judge him. It's the same thing with Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes has played about 100 games. So it's still too early to tell what he is. Um, but what is one of those things where last night was not the night to test the waters. Josh Hart was getting beat off the dribble by guys that don't have dribble games. And this is concerning. It was pointed out to me by IKBM Dre that Josh Hart gets beat off the dribble a lot. And if we're talking about RJ getting beat off the dribble, if we complain about RJ Barrett getting beat off the dribble and Josh Hart is allowing the same thing, then I think in fairness to the beat off the dribble conversation, then if RJ Barrett is being indicted for getting beat off the dribble, Josh Hart should be indicted for being beat off the dribble. It's just being fair, right? Like when Randall was getting beat off the dribble, people were losing their minds about a 250-pound man getting beat off the dribble by a 215-pound man. Then you know it's everybody. Everybody has to be held to a standard. Like when I have these conversations with y'all, like I don't necessarily cut y'all off in terms of like how you feel as a fan. All I ask is if we're debating a certain topic by using a certain player by example, then we need to put the emphasis on the topic itself and not the players. If there is a certain thing that you expect, like if you don't want players to get beat off the dribble, right? If you don't want players to get beat off the dribble, we have to apply that to every Knicks player, right? We have to apply it to every Knicks player. So and here's another thing too that I've been hearing, and I'm gonna get back to the Josh Hart thing. But if you're frustrated with quickly fouling 3-point shooters, at the same time we're saying that we don't close out on 3-pointers fast enough, you're gonna have to live with one or the other. You got to live with one or the other. And I think I think maybe Hard Will said he played basketball once or twice in his life, and Hard Will can attest to this. You know, closing out on 3-pointers aggressively puts you in a situation where you may foul the 3-point shooter in your aggression to close out, or you may get beat off the dribble when they attack the closeout. Now, a lot of times we're saying Josh Hart is not getting beat off the three on closeouts. He's being sized up and getting blown by. Josh Hart is being sized up and just some people are just going by him. I don't know if it's because of these rules. I don't know if RJ and Grimes, when Grimes gets blown by, Grimes gets beat a lot, but he recovers quickly. Right? Like when Grimes get beat, you don't notice he's beat because he quickly gets back to his man and stays physical and makes the offensive player play through him. So it's never say when you see Grimes get a foul called on him, the offensive it's a real foul. Basically, what I'm saying with Grimes most of the time. Most of the time when Grimes fouls a player, he is getting his money's worth. And that offensive player is going to feel it. Shout out to Quentin Grimes, man. I know the Grimes conversation is a moving target for Lawrence Tears because, I called him a ham sandwich and people think that I don't like Grimes. I do like Grimes. I just don't like the Klay Thompson comparison. But back to Josh Hart, though. Josh Hart gets beat a lot, man. Josh Hart gambles a lot, man. Josh Hart, with all that energy, he's a I don't want to say a loose cannon, but he is very, very, very energetic in the minutes that he plays. Sometimes you see that in rebounding. Sometimes you see that in deflections. Sometimes you see that in steals. Sometimes you see that in defense. Sometimes you see that in transition. But here recently, we've been seeing all that energy get beat off the dribble. And here is what I'll ask you guys about Josh Hart. It's not fair to Josh Hart, but it is fair to the conversation. So what I'm going to ask is not fair to Josh Hart, the player, but it is fair to the conversation. And I'm going to link this thing back to Tibbs. Trust me, this is going back to Tibbs and going back to the organization. For all this talk about Josh Hart making winning plays and being a good veteran and all of that stuff, what has Josh Hart or a team Josh Hart has been on ever won in the NBA? While in the NBA, what has a Josh Hart team won? Has he ever been on a all defensive team? Right? Is he a all star? Is he a anything? And then if not, that's okay because there are about 300 players in this league that are very good that are not all stars, sixth man of the year, comeback player of the year, most improved. There are about 300 players every year that don't win anything, right? But what has a Josh Hart team ever won? When Josh Hart was with the Lakers, were they good? When Josh Hart was with the Pelicans, were they good? When Josh Hart was in Portland, were they good? So does Josh is basically what I'm asking is Josh Hart an impactful player, or are we hoping that he'll be an impactful player with us? And I think it's the latter. I think we are hoping Josh Hart will be an impactful player with us. Right? We are hoping that Josh Hart will be an impactful player in our scheme. Now listen, I am in that group that hopes that comes to fruition. I'm in that group that hopes Josh Hart is one of the finishing pieces for a championship team. Not the finishing piece, right? Don't get it twisted now. I'm not saying Josh Hart is the the steak dinner or the steak as a part of dinner. I'm not saying that. But maybe he is the slightly chilled Bordeaux from say 13 years ago. Maybe Josh Hart is a 2010 Bordeaux from a small winemaking family. That is like the thing that takes this team over the top. Like you know how like when you go out to dinner, you with your people, you know what I'm saying, the place that have the real napkins, the laundry napkins, you know what I'm saying? The waiter has a suit on. And he asks you like, what do you want to drink? Of course you ask for water first, like, yeah, let me get a chilled water and let me see your wine menu. And they bring you out the tablet and you going through like the wines and all this stuff and you see like, say if CWC made wine and you see you see Charlie Ward cousin 2010 on the bottle and you like, let me get a bottle of that CWC Bordeaux 2010. Let us try that. And the waiter's gonna be like, excellent choice. It's very slept on. Excellent choice. It's a sleeper pick. I want Josh Hart to be that. Right? Of course, I want the Knicks to go out and get two more players, a mega star level player, and a playmaker in the backcourt to go with Brunson. To go with Brunson and quickly. And shout out to CWC, by the way. That's CWC is Uncle Freezy cousin. Warren Franklin is UFC, Uncle Freezy cousin. Shout out to him. Shout out to Forbes' Phil in the building. What's good, boss? Hey, when I figure out how to put y'all comments up here, man, y'all, hey, the chat is crazy, man. Let me see if I can get some comments up here. Let me see if I can. Okay. All right. So I can't I hadn't figured it out yet, but once I get the things right up here on this new system I'm using, man, I'll but yeah. So I want Josh Hart to be that, and I think Tibbs is trying to figure out right now how to have Josh Hart be that. But my thing is this. I don't think Josh Hart should be getting more minutes than Grimes and RJ. And last night was an example of how Tibbs took out the hot hand twice, and then we lost the game by 7. Tibbs took out RJ when RJ was just on the verge to start cooking. And then Tibbs took out Grimes when Grimes was cooking. Right when RJ had turned the stove on and started cooking, Tibbs took him out. And right when Grimes had all of his food on the stove cooking, Tibbs took him out and put in Josh Hart and stalled momentum twice. And shout out to Kenny Payne. Kenny Payne says, RJ Barrett cooking? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. This is Teflon buckets. This is Teflon buckets, son. RJ Barrett a shooting guard that can't shoot, son. It's in his job description, son. yo, that is hilarious. I have that phone. I have an iPhone 7 and I was using it as the show phone. And when you hear, of course, y'all know I changed the name of the person that called and left a message, right? And so I go back and listen to it. And it's like, I don't want to hear it. No, Uncle Free, no. His job description is shooting guard, son. He's a guard that he can't shoot and he can't guard. It's hilarious, man. It is hilarious, bro. I got like 30 of them on this old iPhone 7 that I used during the I think it was last year or something. And when I go back and listen to these, man, Teflon Buckets said RJ Barrett is a shooting guard that can't shoot and can't guard. That's hilarious. Shout out to my man RJ Barrett, yo. Shout out to my man RJ Barrett. Last night he was on the verge of cooking, and Tibbs took him out right when he was about to start cooking for Josh Hart, who came right in and gave up a three to Kyle Lowry. I think it was Kyle Lowry, who had easily 5 seconds in the corner to get his feet set and to get his shot up. CWC, salute, man. Salute to the GOAT, CWC. So I'm saying this on March 23rd, 2023. Right? What is it, about 10 in the morning, 9:45, something like that? In the morning, March 23rd. Now, Josh Hart may find his way with this team. By the time the playoffs get here, he'll probably be in his bag, right? And he'll probably be invaluable to us. But last night, I didn't see it. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen in the future. I understand Josh Hart's on a new team. He's been here about, 5 weeks, 6 weeks? So I know he's finding his way. But like I mentioned on the day that we got him here, that we traded for him, I don't know how this helps RJ and Grimes long term and quickly. Because we needed defense yesterday, and the defense was nowhere. So how I link this back to Tibbs is this. It's easy. Miami ran out a lineup of midgets yesterday, and Tibbs didn't go small with them. And what that did was lead to us getting behind and couldn't catch up. And so if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna pick on one of the sharp basketball minds in the chat. I'm gonna throw this out here to Hardwell. Right? Hardwell, how often do you see an NBA game where a team scores 127 points on 79 shots? This is for Hardwell. Hardwell, how in the world does a team take 79? Think about this when I'm asking Hardwell, right? A team takes 79 shots and only shoots 26 free throws and scores 127 points. Now, mind you, this is the lowest scoring team in the NBA at 106 points a game. Right? This team that scores, excuse me, in an offensive era, they score 106. They went 21 points over their average on the season. This is not an early season game. This is like game 72 for them. So 106 is who they are. This is like game 72, 73 for them. So 106 is who they are. They score 127 on us by going small. Their tallest man, according to according to ESPN, is Bam Adebayo at 6'9". Their next tallest man is Kevin Love at 6'8". According to ESPN, right? And Tibbs rolls out 2 7-footers that had no impact on the game. This is Tibbs' fault. This is Tibbs' fault. This is not a Bam Adebayo had a career game, because he didn't. Bam Adebayo was 15-7. And y'all remember from the last time we played Miami in Miami, Julius Randle cooked Bam Adebayo. Julius Randle cooked Bam Adebayo so bad they had to double team Randle with Jimmy Butler. He cooked Bam Adebayo so bad that they had to double team. Mind you, Bam Adebayo, he cooked Bam Adebayo so bad they had to double team Randle with Jimmy Butler. And so what's Tibbs' strategy last night? No, we ain't gonna do that. we not gonna do what was successful last time. We are gonna do something different. And Eric Spoelstra threw out a junk defense too. Right? Eric Spoelstra threw out the fake 2-3 zone. Y'all saw the fake 2-3 zone. Every time a ball handler got to the corner, they trapped us. Right? They went fake 2-3 zone. Like, they presented the 2-3 zone, but every time we got out of the middle of the floor, they sent the trap. Right? They went to the fake 2-3 zone, and it woke up RJ and Quentin Grimes. They went to the fake 2-3 zone, and it woke up Grimes and RJ. Now, and Tibbs, seeing this, immediately was like, "Oh no, Grimes is cooking. No, I got to take him out and put in Josh Hart. RJ looks like he's about to get in his bag. Oh no, I gotta hurry up and take out RJ. I can't let RJ get confidence. I got to put in Josh Hart, who came in and immediately gave up threes to Tyler Hero and Kyle Lowry." And here's the thing I want to mention too, because I was flipping back and forth watching both broadcasts. Like I was watching what the hell was Clyde Frazier wearing? Clyde, Clyde Frazier is a saint in my eyes, right? But what was Clyde Frazier wearing last night? What was Clyde Frazier wearing last night? And secondly, I watched the Heat broadcast, and Bam Adebayo was having a temper tantrum, right? Bam Ade- for those of y'all mad at Randall for getting a tech, go back and watch the Miami Heat version of that same game. Bam Adebayo was doing the same thing. They didn't tech up Bam Adebayo, and you know why? Because the Heat coaching staff kept going to Bam and pulling him away. Bam Adebayo was begging to get ejected, stomping your feet, pointing in the ref, and they coaching staff kept going to Bam, Bam, Bam. I don't know exactly what they were saying to Bam or what they were saying to the ref, but Bam was begging to get ejected out of that game last night. Probably because he was having a bad game, and it happens. Right? It happens. Right? Players get frustrated. People get frustrated. I watched no lie. I watched for the love of the game last week. I was chilling, like working on some stuff, had it playing in the background, and I saw Hard Will get frustrated a little bit, not over the top, not Bam out of bio frustrated. But you can tell Hard Will was trying to say something and they kept cutting him off. It happens to me too. It happens to all of us. Right? It happens to all of us. I just I just noticed that the snail got cut off. Let me fix this snail thing. I'm gonna fix it up here while we welcome to Lawrence Tears channel. All right, let me see if I can fix this thing. Okay, let me cancel that. I be having so many things going on, man. All right, let me. Let me see if that'll work. All right. I don't know. All right. Hard Will's like, he don't want you to catch fire, huh? Right, 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 right. Yeah, I got it. It's scrolling and stuff, but I want um um to ensure that one of our partners is getting they stuff seen. Um so that the members of the channel can enjoy benefits if they like that kind of stuff. So if you like to put bread down on stuff when you go to bet online, just remember to use your code word Blanche, and then that way you can get um um your discount when you start your journey there. So I'm pointing the finger at Tibbs, right? And I'm pointing the finger at Tibbs not because I just feel like pointing, right? Wacko is in the building. So I don't want to just point at Tibbs. Listen, Tibbs has been all right. right? Tibbs has been all right. The Josh Hart experiment, though, trying to get Josh Hart um, um, used to being a Knick, getting him in the flow with this team, I think comes at the detriment of the young players. As I say that, Hoodie Kev calling me probably to ask me for something crazy. Mets is in the building. What's good, Mets? All right, let me scroll. Let me fix this thing. So I'm trying to. Okay, for a member discount. I'm just gonna chop off the for member discount part. All right, there we go. There we go. So Tibbs is getting used to Josh Hart, and Josh Hart is trying to find his way with the Knicks. Does that come at the detriment of Quentin Grimes and R.J. Barrett? Yes, and it's one of the things that I feared. And not only if it were working on a nightly basis, I would shut my mouth and be quiet. Wouldn't say a thing. But you guys know how I feel about the kids, right? And I got a old dude call me. I'm trying to think of the old dudes. I got to think of a handle for the old dude so that I can put his call out there. It's the old dude is the F them kids call. What? F them kids. That call, I got to put that one out there. I got to put that. I'm gonna try to put that one out there today. I'm gonna try to put that one out there today. You know what I'm saying? So that we can have. I should put these calls out like once a week. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know which one to do. Do I have the meltdown call? The dude Chris that I'm sorry, I gotta think of a name for him. I gotta think of a name for him. Right? The dude is like, screw it all. I don't care if we win and blow it up, start all over, go in the lottery. I got that call. I got a F them kids call. I got a fire Tibbs call and hire somebody else. I got that call. It's a bunch of calls I have recorded, man. I would play them. For one, though, people audio be whack. Y'all got to step y'all game up when y'all call these shows and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can't be in traffic, you know what I'm saying, standing by an ambulance, you know what I'm saying, and then be trying to be like, you'll never play my call. Bruh, the quality is terrible. You know what I'm saying? So, got that. But here's another thing too. Here's another thing I wanted to speak to just really quick, right? So when you look at the box score, and I know I'm sure a lot of y'all like look at the box scores and like YouTube channels have the box score up where they just do the box score and read through the stats and all that stuff. That's not my thing, right? But last night there was something in the box score I think was intriguing. And that is Miami took 79 shots. The Knicks took 82 shots. I got something that just popped up. It just popped up over the thing. So Miami took 79 shots. The Knicks took 82 shots. Right? What that speaks to is pace. In this very slow pace, Miami scored 127 points. They were not zipping up and down the floor. They were not zipping up and down the floor. This game didn't go into overtime. Right. They just basically drew us into a ballroom brawl and beat us up. We lost. They were more physical. All the stuff that we try to impose on teams, they did it to us, and we didn't take it well. They were the more physical, aggressive team. They wanted to win this game more than we wanted to beat them. And listen, and you never know what's in people's hearts. So when I try to stay away from the phrase of they wanted it more because you don't know what's in people's heart, right? But at the same time, they ran out a midget lineup, and Tibbs didn't adjust to it, right? Tibbs didn't adjust to it. He didn't. Tibbs didn't adjust to it. We ran out there with giants for the most part, and they beat us. They beat us to the punch often, right? They just beat us to the punch. They just did. When you look at statistically what they did to us, I had it here. Let me go back to it. I'm going to go back to it. Y'all just be patient with me just real quick. Randall was 7 for 16 last night. Randall took 5 3-pointers all night. Randall had 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal. Randall took 16 shots last night. Jimmy Butler had 19 points. I'm sorry, 19 shots. Had 35 points. Jimmy Butler was 11 for 14 from the free throw line. The only other player with 7 free throw attempts in the game last night was R.J. Barrett, who was 7 for 7. Jimmy Butler by himself doubled everyone else last night from the free throw line. No big deal. It happens often. No big deal. It happens often. I'm not getting ready to start complaining about Jimmy Butler getting on the calls. All right. So ultimately, with all that said, where are we and what are we doing? Where are we and what are we doing ultimately? So in the grand scheme of things, I'll say it like this. This game tonight in Orlando, I feel like we have to win, not for the standings, but for our confidence. Not for our standing, but for our confidence. Right? Because ultimately, basically, all this stuff is wrapped up. basically we're gonna finish somewhere. We'll probably finish fifth, right? We can't assume that every team in the playoff hunt is gonna get red hot and win out, and the Knicks are gonna drop to the play-in. That's ridiculous. All of a sudden, teams are gonna become something that they're not, and then the Knicks can't do it. That's henny penny. The sky is falling. That's a sky is falling theory. When you assume that 8 other teams are going to get red hot and play ultimately their best basketball of the season down the stretch, and the Knicks are going to play their worst basketball and fall out of the playoffs. That's ridiculous. Building Blocks is in the building. Building Blocks with the dopest avatar in the game. What's good? Yeah, y'all. This Orlando game, I'm thinking the Knicks are gonna beat Orlando. I watched. Did we watch? We did go to Orlando. Okay, so we did go to. We saw Orlando live this year. We did see Orlando live this year. Okay, so we saw Orlando live this year, right? Man, Orlando ain't. Paolo Banchero is a talented player, but he is so low IQ, low band, and he can't help it because he like 20. Franz Wagner at the 2. Come on. We ain't losing no team like that. We ain't losing to a team. The Knicks are not about to lose to a team with Jalen Suggs, Markelle Fultz, and Cole Anthony as their ball handlers. About to lose no team like that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up right here. Do some show prep. 11:30. Your man